Welcome to another video where we're talking about how to make cookies that I learned a recipe from one of the chocolate chip bags I bought the other day. We got the big blue bowl for the main dish, and this is for the flour and the sugar and or not the sugar, but the flour, baking soda, and salt. So we got two bowls here on the counter. And we're going to start by reading the directions. So we have to set the preheat to 375. So we'll go to the oven here and we'll go bake. Go up till it says 375. Hit start. And we'll wait till that bakes. And then the first thing we need to do is to do the 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. And we'll be right back and get that done. Here is the flour we're going to use. It's in this plastic container that I have here. Here's the flour. The second ingredient is baking powder. Baking soda, I should say, and then salt. Is the second thing. We can use any kind of salt you want, iodized or non-iodized, it doesn't matter, it works for everything. So that works for there. We use 1 teaspoon of baking powder, or baking soda, I should say, not baking powder, baking soda. We get that done, and then we use 1 teaspoon salt after that. Here's what we have: the salt, baking soda, and flour. And we're going to mix it up with our electric mixer, or you can use a hand spoon if you want to, but get it nice and smooth in there. Until it's all nice and smooth. Okay. Here we are about to stir this up. We're about to stir this up. Well, if it's not cooperating with me, I don't know. How it looks. Stir this up till it looks about like that, till everything's all mixed together with your electric mixer or hand spoon. Make sure everything is put together in one thing, and it's all smooth like this. It should look like this when it's all mixed together. The next thing we need to do is go into the big blue bowl here, and then we're going to mix together, beat together butter, sugar, brown sugar, and vanilla until creamy. Add eggs at one time and beat after each addition. So add each egg at one time, like I said. So we're just going to beat together all these things, and we're going to use stevia for the sugar, and then for the brown sugar we'll just use regular brown sugar, so it's kind of like a combo type of sugar, non-sugar cookie. So that's what we're going to do next. We'll add about 3/4 cup sugar into the blue bowl and 3/4 cup brown sugar. Here we need a cup of butter. So we're going to take a spoon and put it in a cup here, in a measuring cup, and put a cup of it. And we'll be right back, and we'll get that ingredient into the bowl, and we'll show you the ingredients that are in, and then we'll mix it together until it's creamy, and then we'll add the eggs as well. So here we go. We'll be back in a second. Here are all the ingredients. We got the stevia, the brown sugar, and the butter. And then we'll add the vanilla extract next. And that's about a teaspoon. So we need about 3/4 cup of brown sugar, 3/4 cup of sugar, a cup of butter, 2 sticks softened. Or you can use the already softened butter, which is what I used. And then we need 2 eggs and we'll get to that stirred up and we'll show you the results after that. Here we go. Here is the ending product we got. We just need to stir this up with the electric beater here. We'll do that. Stir that up. Until it's nice and smooth. We'll keep stirring until it's nice and creamy. It sure doesn't look like a lot, but this recipe that I found was pretty interesting. It should look like that when it's done. We got a little bit of that on there. We can clean that off with the spoons or whatever. You can. Don't lick this. Don't lick the batter or anything afterwards. It could be unhealthy for you. There may be. But it's probably okay. You could eat it theoretically, but you shouldn't do it. We'll be right back and we'll get the rest of the ingredients put in here. And we'll put the flour in and everything else. Here's one of the eggs we're going to put in and then we're going to mix it up. We'll be right back. Here's what it should look like after the second egg has been beaten or stirred in. We're going to add the flour, so we're going to gradually add the flour in. We're just going to put a little bit of flour in and then we're going to stir that up with the beater. It should look like that after the first bunch of flour, and then we're going to add more flour to it, just a little bit at a time. Get all the flour out of this. It's starting to look a little bit more like cookie dough. Add a little bit more flour to the mix. Add no power there. It's getting more stiffer as we add more flour in. Okay, we're going to add the rest of the flour in here from our other bowl that we got out. Mix all that in. If it's too stiff, turn up the power. We're going to add the chocolate chips, or the dark chocolate chips is what I added to them. You can get this recipe online somewhere if you want to, but I can use any kind of brand of chocolate chips, dark chocolate chips that you can find at the store. I've got a generic brand of dark chocolate chips. I didn't get the actual name brand ones that were in the recipe, but I did have them before when I made this for the first time. So we're gonna get those in there, and we'll be right back after this. Here is the dark chocolate chips that we selected. We're gonna mix that up, mix it up together on power level 1 until they're all nice and mixed in there. Put it on power level 2 to get it even more. Put it on medium power now to get it all mixed in there, because it's going to get a little tough. Get all good mixed. Okay, if you're using a spoon, try to be very careful what you do with that, because it could you could hurt yourself. So get an electric mixer. I suggest. Get a hand one, or one of those ones that stand on the counter. Okay, and this is how we clean off the blades. Just right in the bowl. Not too much power, just to make sure it doesn't go outside the bowl. And they're cleaned off as good as we can get them, because they had a lot of cookie dough on them. And we just set that aside. And you can email me. Or contact me on my webpage to get the recipe, or just look for one on your favorite type of cookies. This is just one type of chocolate chip cookies that I added. I made the sugar-free ones with the brown sugar in it, so it's a mix. And we just pop them into the oven when we make like little spoonfuls of it and put it on the baking pan. I recommend you spray the pan, but you don't have to. So we're going to just put these in the oven and make the dough balls and everything. Just make like a small spoonful, or one of those big, like a tablespoon or something. Make them that big, or you can make them smaller, but in a smaller tablespoon or teaspoon. And then that's how we go. And that's the end of this recipe. Thank you for watching this video. And we'll hope you like and subscribe my videos, my computer videos as well, and these beautiful recipes that I'm making that I got off the internet. And I actually got this recipe from one of the chocolate chip bags that I got. So it was just a good brand at the time. It was a name brand that I shouldn't name because I might get in trouble. So here we'll just put the cookies in, and then we'll show you the cookies when they're finished. And then put them on the cooling rack and let them cool for about 5-10 minutes maybe, and then put them in a container, or put them wherever, in a cookie jar or somewhere where you can store them. So thank you very much for watching the videos. Bye. A medium-sized spoon that you can use to make the cookies. So it's a fancy, not a very fancy shoot, but it's this is what I use for my cookies. Or I also use one of these smaller spoons for your everyday use. You can use them all for both of them that way. So that's it that's it for today. Bye. One more thing, cook for 9 to 11 minutes on 375 on your oven, and let them cook. I'm going to cook them for 10 minutes, so they're in between the time. They usually get done about 10 minutes, but you can do 11 minutes if you want to, or 9 minutes, whichever you choose, however your oven is made. Cook it for that amount of time. Thank you for watching the videos. Here is the finished product. They don't look very good, but they probably are pretty tasty. Let them cool for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then take them off the rack and store them in some place you want to put them in. Thank you for watching. Bye. Here's the finished product. They're probably very tasty, and we'll try one. You can try one when you make this recipe yourself. And if I name the name of the recipe, I might get in trouble, so I'm not going to name the recipe I got this from. But I should probably give them credit anyway, but I shouldn't say the name, so I'm just not going to say the name. I'm just going to just eat one of these cookies tonight, and it's kind of sugar-free, non-sugar-free. It's a mix. Brown sugar, real brown sugar, and stevia. Bye.